يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد فإن خير الحديث كتاب الله عز وجل وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, first of all, I wanted to just, on my behalf and on behalf of my wife, we want to thank everybody for coming out this evening and giving us such a warm welcome. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put this gathering in our balance of good deeds, mizani hasanatina yawm al-qiyamah, on the day of judgment. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our gathering for His pleasure. Ya Allah, we have met only for your pleasure this evening, and may He increase our faith and enrich our taqwa this evening. Brothers and sisters, our main mission in America is to share this message of Islam with as many people as we possibly can. You know, our scholars, they tell us, of course, based on proof, it's not just whim or their own opinion. They tell us that our existence in a non-Muslim country is not justified unless and until we're here for one of three reasons. Number one, if we're here for a medical treatment, and after that we're going back, then your existence in America is justified. Number two, and that's only until you get the cure, and then you have to head back. Number two, if you're here to gain knowledge with which you're going to help the Muslim community in the future, then that's allowable as well. Once you gain that knowledge, you're to head back. The third reason is that if you are here to share the message of Islam, what we call in the Sharia, da'wah. If you're here to share the message of Islam, and that's a full-time preoccupation, full-time occupation, then your existence in America is justified. Now that does not mean that you should not work and take care of your family and take care of the necessities, but it means that every extra moment or minute that you have, this is your main focus while living in a non-Muslim country. Brothers and sisters, if you haven't had that intention up to this point, I invite you to change your intention this evening, before it is too late. And our scholars tell us that if you're here for da'wah, if you're here to share the message of Islam, then you can only do that provided there are certain requirements that go with this. Provided you don't fear that you will lose your Islam. Provided that you don't fear that you will lose your Islam. Which means, now I know a lot of people will say, well, come on, I'm a Muslim. I've been Muslim all my life. Okay? Yes, it's true, and alhamdulillah, you are a Muslim. But are you acting like one? Are you thinking like one? Are you talking like one? Are you investing your money like one? Do you listen to the commands of Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a Muslim? In other words, is being a Muslim just a name? Or is it a meaning to you? In other words, as you know, Muslim means one who submits. Submits to Allah. Not one who admits that there is Allah, but one who submits to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, our existence in America has to circle around this issue of da'wah. So now, the whole question comes up. Okay, if we're going to give da'wah, we're going to share the message of Islam in America, what do? How do we share the message of Islam with people? Of course, there are ad hoc attempts. People go out to the mall and give out leaflets. People talk to their neighbors, and people, respond to an editorial in the paper. People get on television every once in a while and try to tell people about Islam. But those attempts are individual, and those attempts start and stop. Brothers and sisters, if we're going to be serious about sharing the message of Islam in America, it has to be done in a disciplined, organized fashion. It cannot be done just by giving lectures here or there, going to these interfaith conferences once in a while, and so on and so forth. That's not what's going to cut it. If we are going to do the work of Allah seriously, then it has to be done in a disciplined, organized fashion, in a planned way. And hence, we have to ask ourselves a question. For example, we have this masjid, and alhamdulillah, we have this masjid. Many people don't have a masjid. They end up renting halls in churches and basements of houses and so on. Alhamdulillah, Allah has blessed us here with a masjid. I can tell you that even in our community now, these days we're having problems because we grew so fast, and now we're having problems in praying there, and we have to look for another masjid. It's a blessing. Brothers and sisters, now, when we have a masjid like this, we have to ask ourselves the question, okay, who is going to run this masjid tomorrow? Muslims? Christians? Jews? Hindus? Atheists? Who's going to run this masjid tomorrow? Now, forgive